What's up? What's up? Good morning and welcome back. I think on Wednesday I was telling you guys that they were cutting down a tree at my house. The Thursday cutting was pretty aggressive, so I ended up not streaming at all. It was my camera is not plugged in. Why? Hold up. One sec. Technical difficulties here. Okay. Hold on one sec. Settings. By the way, if you're tuning in on YouTube, remember our disclaimer. Remember that day trading is risky business. Do not trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. This freaking cameraman. Okay. That somehow did the trick. Yeah, I was saying yesterday they were cutting down a tree. The city was cutting down a tree by my house, and so it's just a little loud, and so I ended up not streaming. But anyhow, as we're saying, remember the disclaimer. Remember, copy trading does not work. Remember, my results are not typical. Remember, I do not invest money for my subscribers, so be careful of fake accounts. I will never message you first, nor will any of the lead members here in the community and team house members by extension. We will never message you first. Other than that, let's look forward to having a beautiful trading day. So let's take a look at the scans here. SMX was the one that recently pushed up, although it doesn't seem to be that high up on the list here. Just a 23% move. Yeah, okay, from top to bottom, AS and S. AS and S started in after hours and has continued here in pre-market, currently up 77%. We got highs at 70 cents. And we've been holding up the pullback above VWAP, which is good to see, at 61. Since then, we've curled back up to highs around 69. And it's currently in a range where we could potentially see the opening surge early here in the move. However, the 200 EMA is at 74 cents. I think that's definitely a cause for some concern. If we break the pre-market highs, will we be able to push through and continue into new highs? Other than that, if it's strong, maybe over 75, we can fill some gap up there to 1. And then 125 would be nice to see if it's really, really strong for ASNS. Coming down, DFLI. Jeez. DFLI. DFLI. So yesterday, this one stair stepped up. Nice move. Although the question that I have is, was it volatile? Let's see. Lows of 75, high of 78. It looks like it was decent. Some candlesticks were a little bit bigger here. 84 to 89. And it continued in after hours. This one we might see the wider halt bands as well, which could be good if it is volatile. So DFLI. Because there's this like underline thing, I'm kind of confusing the F for an E. DFLI. Looking interesting. Looking good. Time. time for screen recording. Let me go ahead and do that right now. For those of you who are watching on, we always recommend to screen record. OBS is a free platform, and there's a ton of tutorials on YouTube. That way you can record your screen. In the agreements that we're signing, do they have access to our data? More than likely, because there's no way it's just free, you know? But maybe the price to pay here to study and record your screen. I'm pretty sure there's also paid services that maybe are not tracking your data. These days they're doing that on every platform. So anyhow, DFLI pre-market high 57. We've had highs around 64 in after hours. So I'm going to keep that in mind as well. We're currently right below the 200 EMA, 55. So this one also in an area where the resistance is right up on us. You know, I'm just doing my due diligence. If these don't go, you know, they don't. But if they do, then at least we have the levels there. So coming down, XELB at 35% with 12 million shares of volume. This one doesn't really look so great. We'd have to look for the red to green here. For those people that Marcelo might have told you guys that I wasn't here yesterday because I had a child. That's not true. In fact, every time that I'm not here, he'll say this. So just a heads up for the future. It is not true. And if I do have a child, I'm gonna show the child on stream here, because why not, right? That's kind of what I'll do. But until that glorious day, we'll be taking our time. So no kids here. Not right now. Maybe next year. XELB 225. We got lows here, and we'll need to see a red to green on this one. Also, to be pretty transparent, my birthday comes like 6 times a year on a live stream. All right, just a heads up. So when you hear me saying it's my birthday in the next 3 weeks, this one is also below the 200 EMA, 286. Yeah, a lot of these stocks, they have work to do. We're not in like a blue sky territory at all here. Everything is like below resistance. 318. 318 also resistance on the daily. And then 420. Time. Nothing looks obvious into the open, so I think just taking it slow will make sense as the 2-minute warning is coming up. Two-minute warning. Yeah, I think just taking it slow, looking for something obvious. Today we might see a short burst of momentum, maybe just 3 minutes to 6 minutes of opportunities, and that might just be the day, right? So looking to wait out the first 2 to 3 minutes if nothing is happening, and then if we get something strong, you know, look to capitalize, make it quick and clean. It's Friday. If we can get some nice trades here to end the week, that's all that really matters here. So the aim is green, and you know, from Wednesday we mentioned that we did a poor job not being as confident and firm in our trades. Today we got to make sure that the moment we see what we like, there is no second guessing, but instead we take the opportunities with confidence and we manage our risk. So with 2 minutes to go, maybe I'll watch A, S, and S into the open. I'll also check the chat just to see If maybe I'm missing anything here that looks good. SMX, which sold off. Um, Not really seeing much else. We'll go to single screen and we'll be ready to go. No trades in pre-market here for me today. Okay, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. And let's rock and roll. Another beautiful day. Shout out to the chat room. I see you guys. Bob the Builder. Bob is in the building. Looking to take it slow here to start. Unless something is really strong right away. Let me get these blue light glasses. ASTC moving up a little bit. It might get halted up actually. It definitely has a range to it. It's volatile, which I like. It's been straight up here so far. Time. We still got another 3 minutes in the candlestick. Will it hold up the first red candle on the 1 minute chart? Again, if something moves right away, I want to be on it. The halt is at 68. I want to start throwing out a few orders here. Try to get into a rhythm. We had a high of 68. Pre-market highs are at 91. I'd like to see a little bit more range on a pullback though, going down. So far it's tight, which is not bad, but we're holding really high. 95 is the halt up. I think over 50 it definitely could go. Although we've been rejecting the level for now. And it is not going to hold. It's a little choppy. $95 is the halt up if it's to go all the way. Right now, we need it to not sell off. Like, you know, we don't want to see 650 and a massive drop down to halt. Still having trouble holding above the whole dollar. And by the way, there's shares available to short, I think. I tried earlier with small size. Yeah, and over 50, still having some trouble. Okay, there we go. And it is back down. See, I'm looking for us to hold above 50 on that dip. It's right back below 50. So false breakout. We're having resistance here. I do like that it didn't sell off all the way. We continue to hold. VWAP is at 12. The lowest we've went has been 701, $7. As we're having our first red candle on the 5. So far, it's still holding up despite the red candles. Right here, I want to be patient. Will we double bottom? 63 is the halt down, which is 30 cents below. I'm going to throw out a starter. 21 would be the 1 minute candle to make the new high. Will we be able to hold up the whole dollar here and continue? 98. If we can hold here, I don't mind adding, but tight stop if not, down at 94. What's it going to be? I'll take the add. 94 stop, 93 stop. Will we hold the whole dollar here and try for 721? The key with a trade like this is just not taking slippage. You know, as long as it doesn't teleport down, I don't mind. If it is to go down, but of course, looking for the move up through 21. Will we be able to continue back to 25, 30, so forth? It's fighting, but you know, let's see what it does. Right here, will we see 30, 35 if it's able to hold that 21 area? We should see 50. We should see 50 here. I'm going to hold the bulk of my position for 50, 60. KB, are we still alive? There's 45. There's 50. And we'll call it a good trade. $791 is the halt up. Well, the pre-market high. The halt up is at 802. Honestly, I don't expect it to go right away. There are shares available. Could be worth it for the pullback. It might just go. It is it gonna do it? Oh, worth a shot. That looked pretty promising to just go all the way. Watching the quick dips in the range. Right here, got to be careful of a bigger flush out, but for now, the quick dips are holding up. Seems to be holding high, which is not a bad thing. Getting the good fills is tough, but you know, trying to see if we can get something at least. Looking to just go slow and steady and build a small day. If it gives a new leg, I could increase size, but for now, just taking it easy. 787. It should have went right there. It didn't, but it's holding up. It didn't fail yet. It might try again. But it is so volatile that you can get caught trying to get the move. That's the risk here. As long as it doesn't teleport down below 50, the risk is fine for now. But if it does, then that's where we can like take a bigger loss for sure. Jeez, man, that is so fast. We're not getting the spring that we just saw. It's more like a 5-8 cent bounce. Are we getting weaker here? Maybe. I do like above 65 if it can continue to hold. For now, it's not as bouncy here. Can we continue to hold, push through 65.70? It is coming down. So is this a normal pullback or is this backside? Sizing down to small size. VWAP at 730. Lows are 27. There's a new low, 2022. Can we hold? I'm going to give it a shot here. Small size, 29. My stop is at 20. Tight stop. If it doesn't hold up, tight stop. See, now the key here is it doesn't teleport down to 7, right? Because I can just keep my 10-cent stop here, keep it tight. If not, I'm stopping out all the way down there, and it's not a great trade. Taking a couple cents. Small size. It might be a little bit more safe that we've held up twice. What is it going to be? Through 50 is going to be good again. Although I would hope it doesn't happen right away. We can get a little bit more building here. If this pullback is safe. Assuming that it is. Lower volume. Bottoming wick. Remember 50 50 was support. So if it's strong, it should hold up here again. And then 70 next level. But are we strong though? If this is strong, we shouldn't even see back below 50. Not a good candlestick there, but it's still above the support that we just had, so that's fine. It needs more time, it's what it seems. I wouldn't expect to see below 17 here at all if it's strong. Is it chopping me out? Son of a gun. Yes, it chopped me out. Of course, it goes down to 12. That's fine. At least it gives me a bottom now. 26 fill. Pretty brutal fill there. Damn, I should have took size, man. It's a good bounce. See, when you're using size here, you know, and maybe I should have put a little bit more size to the day already, being that I'm in rhythm. But when you're using size and you know you catch that type of trade like that a couple times, 20 cents, 30 cents. Can we hold above 50 this time? I should have held it. Dang, people are holding from 20, bro. What am I doing with my life here? 760. Oh, this might be it. Only 84. Trying again? No. And the fills are kind of slow too. See, I'm not in the driver's seat here when I should be. So with a bigger position, I could just be scaling out rather than in and out, you know? Got to be careful not to take a loss if it does fail. But so far, so good. It's like it doesn't want to dip. Tight stops. Looking to re-average if I need to. It might teleport. Is this it? Again, 77 and back down. It should go. It should. It has everything it needs to just rip through 8. But will it? Will it get to 85 and teleport up? It has everything it needs to fly. Oh, that's not a good one there. The candlestick still has time. I don't want to lose too much mental capital here, though. Trying to get this breakout and then it doesn't come, you know? Alright, easing down the size, getting chopped a little too much. Are we setting up for a longer hold again? Definitely getting filled a couple cents higher than where I'm seeing I'm buying. If it breaks down here, it needs to hold up the previous level. So far it's bouncing. I'll hold this for 80. It has what it needs to go again. Is it going to do it? We have the volume. We have everything we need here. It's freaking stuck. See, it's like it's telling me it wants to go, but I don't want to like get caught trying to get it being too aggressive. Fly, fly, like you know you can. And the fills are brutally slow. It could teleport down as well, so we got to be careful here. Before you know it, short sellers just take control of the board because it's struggling. Struggling to fly. Is it worth taking again? Do we have any major red flags? I don't think so. I don't think we have a head and shoulder. I mean, we have topping wicks, but I think it's worth trying again here if it does come down. I'm trying it again. I'm in at 20. Am I going to get cooked? This is where Big Steve is going to say, Pastor. Okay, I'm going to take a small loss. I don't know. Is it backside? That's a trade Big Steve will never take. Lows down there at 706. New lows. Big Steve is on the sidelines eating popcorn, watching the crazy people take trades there. Oh man. I had small size though, so I lost 9 cents. 40 bucks. It feels good to get an uptrending stock though, you know? It's so much easier for me to be in a good rhythm. Versus if it's going sideways, I have such a hard time. The only bad thing is that we got into a good rhythm quick and we didn't really put the size. We kind of just, you know, kept it small size. ANRO. Well, it's been hitting the scans here. $665 high. Last breakout was at 615 or so. Low of the current candle, 40. $37, 37, 35, 45. Shoots, I wanted to throw out an order, man. It just didn't go back down. Over 65. Ah, this one is hard to manage risk, bro. I lost 20 cents on that. Ah, no way. Trying to buy low 50s, I'm filled high 50s, and I'm out at 40. That's brutal. Even with small size, that is rough. I do like the double bottom here so far, though. Again, filled 8 cents higher than what I'm trying to get in. See, if you're fighting against a spread as well, it's like it's just too tough. It's $100 there over 2 trades, small size. It looks like this one is finished. Ah, man. I'm gonna come down to 50 shares here for now, just to see if I can gain a rhythm. If I can't, I'm taking the green. If I can gain a rhythm and then size back up and see some consistency, I'll stick around for this one. But if not, the good news is that we are on a bull flag. Highs are at 66, lows are at 30. Do we have what it takes here to break the highs into the new candles? Right back down 45. So whenever it fails, it drops like 15 cents instantly. So if you're buying the breakout, it's like the risk is 15 cents. There's a new low. And it is moving so quick too. Yeah, it's this. I don't know, man. It seems more like buy, pray that you get the right fill, and hope it doesn't keep dropping. Which is like too much. That's not in control, you know? I'm giving it time here. Okay. All right. I'm open to the dip trades here. Uh-oh, that's not what I was looking for. Back out. It could go. It could go. Damn, bro, look at the fills, bro. I don't like this one. I think there's opportunity, but it just seems more difficult. Even the short, I tried going short 63, 50 shares. It takes an eternity to fill. I like that it didn't sell off all the way, so it'll probably try again. Some big bids. It's not coming down low enough for me to get in, so I'm kind of stuck on the sidelines here. Guys, don't forget to check out the chat room. The chat room is now open for a limited time. And the people who are here for free right now, you're not going to be able to be here for free forever. We're just showcasing people what the chat room looks like. So you guys can decide for yourself if it's worth it. If we were to just give the chat room for free, then it's not going to be fair for everybody else who's been here. But if you join, I'll post the link. If you join, please be respectful of the rules. If not, we will remove you. I guess this is good enough. The candlestick on the 5 minute is struggling a bit, but I'll take a starter here. I'm looking for 55 and 60. I actually should trade this stock on Guardian. I think it'll be better for the stock. And that way I can utilize more hotkeys. There's 55. I'll get filled 51. And I'll switch over to Guardian. Where are we? I am not interested in the breakouts because the risk is too high. But if it goes and can hold up the previous resistance, that's the trade I'm interested in. Our current high is 77. I'd say resistance is about 60, 65. It seems pretty bullish. Like our chart is bullish. Everything says we could get a good move here. Oh, son of a gun. It's gonna break down. Okay. $80 loss in the other account. It's still looking okay for the 5 minute setup now. But I'll wait here a good minute or two before I look to get back in. If it holds up 610, $6. 630 collapse. So I've lost now 160 trading this thing. Giving back. Giving back too much. Can we see a bear flag that resolves and comes back up to 650 over time? And that's the next setup that I'd be looking for. Preferably low, I think, on this one based off of the risk we've been seeing. The risk on not flush was about 15 cents, or at least let's say the loss, right? So being that, hold up. All right, I'm gonna give it room down to like 94, and I'm willing to add one more time to see if the bear flag is able to hold up. The bear flag. What was the high of the last candle? Small size positions. What I don't love is the upside is only, we need to see like 30, bro. Okay. That's better. We don't want no nonsense of just couple cents, couple cents. Now I'm gonna wait. When it comes back down, I'm going to buy more. Bigger this time. Couple hundred shares more. Same stop. That's a better candlestick right there. If it turns out to be a quick V-shaped red to green, then I have no position, and it's gonna go without me. If it ends up just going all the way to 40, 50 right here, I'd expect it to pull back again. One more time for Pastor to load up. To load the boat. If it does go right here, is it worth it? Okay, good. It's kind of struggling over 35. I almost got in there. A short trade here is not a bad idea, you know. It could end up coming back down. V-shape red to green or back down. I'm gonna go for it. And V-shape red to green, brother. In full swing. It's not lingering at the lows. Where's it gonna dip to though, is the question. Unless it just rips through 50. Because there's a seller here, 20,000. Where's that sweet dip going to be? And if it goes all the way back down to 610, I'm gonna lose on this dip. Because at this point, I don't expect it to go back down there. Not after getting to 50. Where's the sweet dip going to be? I'm gonna take a starter at 30, but looking for lower. A baby starter too. 30 kind of high. But maybe it holds here. It all depends. Come on down. The price is right. And just not coming down. It's not coming down. It is not coming down. But I don't know if that level is safe though. Maybe it is. Maybe it is safe. Flush down, please. Son of a gun. Alright, I got a starter again. Not the fill I would have wanted. It's like I just can't trust that level to hold, but maybe that's the level it's gonna hold, right? Sometimes they don't pull back. Trading pretty small still. Okay, it's gonna get over 50. Oh, I came so close to getting back in there. I'm gonna try it. Son of a mother lover. Not as strong through 50 as I would like. Right now, the risk is going back down to 610, 605. But can we hold up previous levels? Man. Where's KB, man, when you need him? KB, are you in the chat today? Where are those bulls? Can we rip and get short sellers getting squeezed here through 77? Won't you go back up like that? Come down and give me another entry, please. I was going to add to that position, but I'm like, it might be a little high. Back to flat. Red 98 to green 50 to flat in the other account. Yet again, I should have held that position, I think. It would have been a better way to go. I throw out another one just to see. Can we hold? Fly. Fly. It held. Bro, like, right, where's the... It's gonna chop me out, man. Like, come on. It's struggling here. It should be ripping through. Jeez Louise, man. It's like I know this move is coming, and then it just goes down, chops me out. Freaking heck. I gotta just hold the whole thing. Man. And we're not getting any dips. Not any good ones. Son of a gun. Son of a gun. But short should be getting squeezed here. Like I'd expect it to be more aggressive, more volatile, just squeezing up. And yet we're slowing down a bit here at 90. Ay, 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 ay. It's not dipping, and it's not going either. What's it gonna be? It is moving weird. It does not want to dip. And the breakouts are hard to trust here because we're not going. Gotta be patient. Like, do I really take this 93 level? Like, come on, man. It's not no real dip. We need something real. Okay, I'll throw a starter. Maybe that's what I need to do to get my feet wet. Ay, ay, ay. 705 is not ripping to 710, 715, 720. Dang, it is not going down here. Now, I know this level is holding. Why don't I buy it, right? That's the question here. Why can't I just buy this level is holding? It's like feeling like a high float stock here. We didn't really get much covering after that big push, after that big candlestick. The stock is still pretty bullish though, so I think that's the key, not to run out of mental capital here. 705 back down to 93 again. Can we get through 705 and hold above 705? Don't you do this to me. Don't you dare. Bro, I think I'm I think I'm done. It's just I don't know. It's like trading like a whole new stock here. Not in a good way. I'm leaving, that's it. And high expectations turn to dust. 666.05. Now the stock is just playing games here. Am I throwing in the towel too soon? Should I have more patience and wait? Or is this the right call? I think it's the right call. 1030, small green, good green. Stock is not ideal. By the way, pre-market trader, if you're listening, we're gonna get back to you here pretty soon. The big trade was the move through 65, and I kind of missed it. This big green candle here. Those are the trades where you love to be in, 45, 50, 55, out at 80, out at 85, even 90. So I'll post the chat room link, and then I think at the end of next week we're gonna probably close it again. But again, we're giving those people who can't afford to be in the chat room, at least so the people have said, we're giving you guys a chance to look at it. This is where the conversation goes on before the live stream, during the live stream, and after the live stream. All right. Now, when people find value in the chat room, that's when they'll say, "Hey, you know what? Let me cancel this Netflix subscription that is taking me nowhere, and join the beautiful chat room that can take me to the moon." There'll be some people that just cannot afford it at all because their situation is very tight. But most of the time, we just have to reconfigure our interests. Hopefully that doesn't sound bad. Stock is still holding up below 76 and back up. Looks like a nice dip. That's a trade I would have took for sure if I was still trading. Previous resistance, up there. And now we're holding it up as support. This stock is stair-stepping up right now, which is what we usually love to see. It's just that it's kind of tough to trade. Consolidation, big move up, consolidation, big move up. And we would hope right here, consolidation again, and then big move up one more time. If it sells off right here, then really and truly, it's already given such a good move that we can't complain. For people that watched it since the open, we're up 50%, which in itself is a good move. Although we're used to seeing 150% moves. As for the swing trades, I think the swing trades are going all right. We have SPYs at all-time highs. Everyone's portfolio should be pretty green. I mean, just this market is just so special. The current administration and what they're also doing to push the markets. Although I think if the other side was to be in, we'd still be up. Maybe just not as much, maybe like 620 versus 670 on a SPY, if I just had to throw a random number out there. But, you know, so far so good here. Now what they need to do after another couple more good months is to crash it again so we can make even more. So we can buy more of the dip and then create some more beautiful wealth. I wonder what the next dramatic drop is going to be, like the catalyst. Surprisingly, back during the pandemic when the Russia-Ukraine war started, most US stocks stayed the same. You just had Russian stocks that were down like 50%. So many of them. I mean, that was kind of brutal for that economy. But, you know, we'll see. We had the pandemic, then we had the trade wars. Even when Trump was in last time, we had trade wars. And then before that, the major one was, of course, the 2008 crash. What is going to be the next one? We're still pretty soon out of the last one. I mean, it's still pretty fresh. April of this year, so it's still early. We might keep going all the way to like maybe closer to 800, 750 before the next one comes. As long as it's not a depression, you know, markets are going to be back up relatively quick. And I want to keep in mind that it's going to be very volatile because there's way more money now than there was during the pandemic circulating in the market. And so seeing the entire stock market get halted is going to be normal to see for the entire day, multiple days in a row. And then when it seems at its most grim, that's where Pastor is going to start to load up his massive position. Being that we saw this 3 times already now, I mean, we've done good, but it's like we never went all in, you know? I think there's going to be a lot of risk, but risk will be my middle name. And then after this next crash is where we can finally say, you know, we have arrived in terms of like overall market stuff. Good plan, but we need to execute when the time comes. Because what will happen is that there's going to be so much fear in the air. There's going to be so much fear and panic. And that's going to be the best time to be buying the dip. But not everyone will be able to withstand the pressure of the fear and just the red. So, yeah, Marcelo is live right now in the chat room, actually. You guys can, with the link that I just posted, you can always join the chat room and check out, you can check out all the Team House members, Marcelo, Tim, Crispy, Save, all of those guys will still post the P&L. And they're doing great, right? They're doing really well. All the Team House members. We don't usually ban people by accident. I mean, if you want, you can send me your username and I can look at it. But typically when someone is banned, they're banned for good. Chatroom is free right now for a limited time for people to just come, see what it's all about, and then after another week or two, we're gonna lock it off. And the people who are joining for free, you will not be able to stay for free. I want to be transparent about that. We're giving people a chance just to see what the chat room is like, because the YouTube stream, there's a decent chat room here, but it only lasts for 30 minutes to an hour, and then the chat room is like here all day long, right? There's people that tell me don't leave because they want to chat in the chat room here, to leave the stream on and go about my day, but that I'm not. I don't know if I would want to do that. Vitali, what's up? How much harder is it to trade now versus pandemic? Believe it or not, in the pandemic, I was like a pretty new trader still. It's hard to scale these things because back then, back in 2020, right? If a stock had 300,000 shares worth of volume, it was game on to start trading it and being aggressive with size. It's a whole different landscape now in terms of what volume is to the market. Back then, if a stock would hit 10 million shares of volume in a day, it would be talked about like, wow, like amazing. Now a stock will hit 10 million shares of volume in one candlestick in 1 minute in pre-market. So it's hard to say on a scale how much more difficult it is or was, let's say, right? SOAR. It's just different in different ways. There's variables. You also have to account for people's experience and how much they've learned, the market environment. I think for hyper scalping, it's definitely a little bit more tricky now because certain things have changed in terms of like algorithms and even some people their accounts are banned, things like that from Charles Schwab, TD Ameritrade. There are certain factors like that that can come into play. We've also had more restrictions on stocks nowadays versus back then. Every now and again, we'll see a ticker symbol that we can't trade. Things like this just didn't happen in the past. Back then, we had the pandemic, which brought a serious influx of volume and people to the market because, everyone is at home. And when you're working from home, I think personally you're a little bit more efficient. You can do more quicker. And so people had spare time. And it's like, okay, how can I make more money online? How can I start an online business? And naturally, people kind of started looking into the stock market, which led to all the volume. And a lot of it kind of stayed here, right? Of course, with inflation and companies doing better and better. I mean, even with rates going up, the companies were still going up. A lot more money's in the market due to those two factors. So higher prices, record earnings, more efficiency with AI, less I mean, I have siblings who are engineers and it's like they're telling me that there's so many people laid off, right? I mean, it's crazy. I cannot access the link. If you can't access the link, maybe your account might be banned. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. If your account is not banned, you should be able to access the link. Let me double check the link here. Let me make sure the link is good. This is what I call a rant. I'm done trading and I'm just talking about topics as we're getting a few questions coming in. I'm going to generate a new link. Anyone in the chat room, you can post this link to your trading friends. SF, I don't understand the reference to the question there. I'm sorry, my friend. I'm not able to give an answer. The live stream. Okay, for people who don't want to access the live stream, what I'll do, what I'll do next week, I can change the settings to where even the white names can see the live stream, but I have to think about that. Right now, only the regular chat room members and students can view the live streams in the chat room. Um, Twice a week, sometimes maybe even more, we're streaming for the general chat room. Typically, we're streaming for MMU students only. So twice a week, we decided, okay, we'll give the chat room a chance. Do I have a girlfriend? No, I'm a single man right now. My last relationship was like 2 years or maybe even more. El Pastor is a free man. Okay, let me stop. Let's not let's not go down that route. No, 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 no children. I've been pretty careful. Like I think being married before having children is just a smart thing to do. Just statistically, there are more advantages, right? You can't be moving wild. There's too many people who are, you know, just not doing it the right way, and it, it just sets you back, I think. Where are the ladies for Big Steve? Big Steve is single and ready to mingle. I thought you had 4 kids with 3. Oh my goodness. I hope that's a joke. If you really thought that, man, I'm a very responsible young man. I don't know. I don't get too personal on here. EPSM moving up a little bit, more expensive stock. If we decide to do a relationship podcast, I wouldn't mind talking openly on there. But over here, I like to keep it more controlled and not go too off topic. I can do a new car video, right? I did a car video before. I can show you guys my new car. I mean, stuff like that I wouldn't mind. Ah, man. I gotta think. I haven't been showing as much. Here's the truth, right? I haven't been showing as much because although 98% of the audience are with good intentions, pure people just enjoying the channel, there are people who sadly will watch to like try to get you. And it's not that I'm fearful per se, but I'm being careful. So I haven't been showing as much. I like to think though in this field you have more people who are mature because it's trading. You're not going to have younger people who are crazy. The average age that watches on YouTube is between 28 and 55. Much more mature audience. But there are still risks because you just never know, right? You have fake accounts coming in the chat room. Every now and again, you'll get somebody who's you just don't understand their intentions and what they're trying to do. They're not transparent. So we try to be cautious because it's still the internet. Um, yeah, I can do like a car video. Show off the new car, I guess. Although it's I'm still like not spending too much money. I don't spend a lot on I don't spend a lot because I'm still in the building stages of wealth. When I get to the enjoyment stage, when I'm at a place where my assets far outweigh any expenses and I can generate more money when I'm not working, that's the time where I'm gonna be spending more, you know? But for now, it's just keeping my head down, like keeping it simple, saving as much as I can, investing as much as I can, being as aggressive as I can. Because once you have the mortgages and then the family and the kids, it's just a little bit more different in terms of how you're taking on risk. Like right now, I can do anything at any time, like risk wise, like business wise, opportunity wise. But, when you have those obligations, you kind of have to move a little different. Not that it's bad or anything, but you're now looking out for other people. Maybe you don't YOLO your entire net worth into the spy, you know. So, uh, yeah, in order to, well, what we really do is that we put pressure in the chat room. We put pressure on people who are posting big P&Ls to show us some sort of transparency that they're a real trader. We've had people in the past, I don't know what their motives were, but they were like showing fake orders, fake P&Ls. But I don't understand like what their aim was. Were you trying to build trust to then sell something to people? Like I don't know. So we'll put a little bit of pressure. Um, we know that there are people right now who are very profitable, but those people also understand the community. It's like, okay, they'll be more private. That way they'll just, hang out and just be a normal person. Like they don't care to be posting. But if you are posting, we'll kind of ask you like, okay, just for the safety of the community. What car is it? The car is the cheapest fast car you can get, which is a Red Sport, a Q50 Red Sport. I am going to tune it up a bit. You know, Shout out to Crispy, man. Crispy's such a good guy. One of these days, I'm gonna go to the track with Crispy, and we're gonna post a nice video. Vitali, I've never said my age on here actually. And because this is another security question at the broker, there's two things I don't say. My account value in Thinkorswim and my age. Because when you call into Schwab, they'll ask you these questions as part of like logging in. However, I'm in my mid 20s, right? And I'd say like, early 30s, mid 30s, like no later than mid 30s. But yeah, this car, I'm going to like tune it up a little bit more. It comes with 400 horsepower, which is it's not too bad, but also not too fast at the same time. So just for about, let's see how much for people who for the car people here, downpipes, exhaust system. I already have intakes, and then a tune really, and maybe like a heat exchanger. I would, if I want to go crazy, I could do the flex fuel kit and then go to like E85 fuel and like mix. But I think with just the downpipes, the exhaust system, and then the tune, I'll be able to do at least 500 plus. If I want to go crazy, then I can do the flex fuel kit. I think that'll still be considered full bolt-ons too, so better heat exchanger for cooling. And then I can go to the track with Crispy. I'm not gonna say what kind of car these guys have because they're more private. In fact, if you're in the chat room, you could see they've posted to the chat room, but I'm not gonna say it out here. These guys are a little bit more private than I am, so you got to respect that. But if you're in the chat room, you can check it out. Also, being that we're on the topic of cars, um, just like a property, make sure to protect your investments, whether it's an asset or not. I did have a car that got stolen earlier this year, which it was a bit of a headache to deal with, really. And I missed trading for one day. And of course, that day, Big Steve called me right away, right? Pastor, where are you? There is a hot move. So I missed out on this is like way early in the year, which would have been a nice 10K day maybe. Guaranteed too, guaranteed. Yeah, I know I got a couple friends with the M340i, but for me, I don't think I will ever buy a BMW or a Mercedes. Great brands, great cars. I don't know. I have this like underdog mindset when it comes to the brand that I have. And there's nothing better than having this and then beating someone else in a race on track that have one of those cars, right? Because it really comes down to how much you're willing to spend, you know? There's a couple of famous Q50s that are like 1200 horsepower, but you got to be willing to spend like 50,000 plus. It's a relatively cheap car. So if you're thinking about it and how you want to go about it, about doing the modifications, for a cool 60,000, you can have 1200 horsepower. Okay, the rant is going on. As mentioned, I'm done for the day, just on the sidelines. Yesterday, they were cutting down this massive tree, and so I just ended up not streaming. I was supposed to tell Marcelo, I forgot, or else the Mighty would have been streaming for YouTube. Yeah, and then so here in Brooklyn, right? There's this guy. In Brooklyn, there's this guy that has a junkyard filled with Q50 parts because anytime any of them get into a wreck, he'll salvage all the good parts, right? If the front of the car is damaged, he'll take everything from the back. And so when you go into this junkyard, there's doors, mirrors, engines, frames, back frames, suspension parts. Like every, I don't even go to the dealer. Well, there's no need for me to go to the dealership, but if I need to, I can just go there and get anything for cheap. So being that I like the brand and there's also that, then I'm getting the parts for like next to nothing. But the Team House guys are into cars, right? So we have a section in the chat room where people have posted their cars. We've saw some really nice ones, from Corvettes to Hummers to the Porsches. Is that how you say it? I think so. Yeah, we've seen some lovely cars all together. We've even seen some camping vehicles, a few boats. I think it was Jessica, shout out to Jessica, who posted a massive 60-foot catamaran in there. P&L plus 600, small green. But certain amounts of speed is just too much speed, man. Really and truly, if you're driving a car, 600, even it's like 600 horsepower is a lot of speed. You got to be careful. The last thing we need is to be on the 9 o'clock news. And the rear wheel drives for the Mustangs, risky business. Anyhows, El Pastor is done for the day. I think later this weekend, I'm going to go watch some archives from the Mighty. Sometimes it's good to go back and rewatch some of those older markets, revisit some of those opportunities. GK, I hope your trading gains is where it needs to be, brother, because 5 kids with oh man. Ooh, SF, man. SF posted a nice pic here. I'm not even sure. What is this? Is this a Porsche on the right hand side? I can't tell. It looks really nice. We got a pic here coming in from the chat room. You got the Tesla Model Y, it looks like. Man, this thing is sweet. Look at those rims. It looks pretty good. It looks very good here. I can't even make out what this says. Maybe you guys can help me out in the chat. It looks pretty good, man. That is a lovely looking car there. Oh wow. Hey, there's a Momo Pro. There's a Momo Pro car here as well. Man, Save, this car is insane. Guys, check out the chat room if you want to see some of these crazy looking cars here. You got the Momo Pro Sprinter van. Check this out. Momo Pro Sprinter van. Can't go wrong with the Teslas, man. They look good. This is a nice color too. My only issue right now with the Teslas is the charging. If you don't have like, especially if you're living in like a condo or building in general. But if you have your own house, it's a little easier to charge every day. Save the monster with the garage looking Very pretty. There's a few Ferraris, a few Maseratis, and there's a Doom buggy. There's a beautiful Corvette here as well. I'll show this one. Shout out to the chat room here. Shout out to the chat room. You know, I have a lot of videos with the guys that I haven't posted at all. Here we got a classic car with Spartan. This one looks pretty cool. Shout out to Spartan. Although this garage, man, this garage itself needs needs some work, but the car is holding it down pretty clean. And this is a beauty. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong at all. I'm gonna shut it down here in like 5 minutes. Yeah. Can't forget the mighty. The mighty and his camping truck here. Toyota Tacoma. Nice and clean. Man. And a Ferrari, the McLarens, they're looking pretty sweet. Holy smokes. Okay, I think maybe that's it for the day. I think maybe that's it for the day. The Momo Pro Sprinter van is pretty cool. All right, I think that'll do it. That'll do it for the day here. We're green. $600. We're gonna take the green smile and come back on Monday. You know, Wednesday I just really didn't like how I traded. I was here like seeing the entries and then like just overthinking the trades. Or else we should have been green on that day. We were at $200. So, you know, you gotta just stay firm, stay confident, and just take the trades when we see them. Your mindset can make such a huge difference as you're going about things. All right, enjoy the weekend. Stay safe, stay green. Be sure to study up on Sunday, maybe Sunday evening. That way you're fresh for Monday morning. Other than that, don't obsess over trading, but instead enjoy all the other projects, businesses, and of course, friends and family. Decompress, relax, study up when you can on Sunday, and then you'll be ready to go. So, you know, back in the days, I used to just wish it was Monday again and like not really do as much with the weekend. But nowadays, we definitely will take the time to, you know, do more things, right? A nice brunch. Sometimes there's some things that you need to do around the property. and you make sure to go get it done, right? But yeah, take care, stay safe, stay green. Catch you guys on Monday morning.